Good morning, Rabbi. My name is Friedman. What an honor to be in your presence. I feel so happy and grateful. And I've been following you for a long time and learning from you. And today
That's called stalking.
I've been stalking you for actually since I came back from Israel. I was really excited with the whole.
When were you in Israel?
In February last year.
Last year, February. Wow.
Yeah, and it brought so much to my heart. And then I studied the Kabbalah a little bit afterwards and been studying with you. You didn't know I've been stalking you and learning from you for all this time. And you have brought so much to my life. And today I want to bring it to all the people that follow me as well. The gift of you, your wisdom about marriage, relationship, divinity, God, everything.
Everything.
Everything. The light that you are and you bring to the world and you share is beautiful. You're a magnificent human being. Thank you.
Let's talk about everything.
Everything. Everything.
Okay.
So,
how do we start with everything?
With everything. So, I have a question for you. What is relationship? What is the beautiful, the most sacred, the most beautiful relationship? What is it?
In the ultimate meaning of the word, relationship means the ability to shed my surface tension and enter into your world. That's called a relationship. And it's almost superhuman because, we're so controlled or governed by our egos and by our self-awareness that to be able to get past that is a divine gift. And it happens mostly in marriage.
So in that same, what is marriage?
Let's start at the beginning. The idea of marriage originates in the Bible. In other words, it's God's idea, which makes sense because it's not really a good idea. It's not the most practical of ideas, so it's got to be divine. What happened was God separated the male and the female, and then instructed them to become one again through marriage. So marriage was basically the antidote to separation. And it turns out that today we're beginning to understand it better than ever because we're feeling so alone in the world. And the feeling of being alone in the world is a terrible, unhealthy condition because it destroys your immune system. You crash. If you're all alone in the world, it seems like it's just not livable. It's not the way we're meant to be. And that's because the separation of male and female is unnatural, of course, even though God did it, but he separated what was created as one. And every separation needs to be healed. Now we're very conscious now of separating children from their parents. Every separation needs healing because separation is unholy. God is one. Separation is not godly. So God separates us, but with the instruction that we should find our own way to becoming one again by getting married. So the oneness should be the result of our willingness, our free choice to choose to be one. And that's magnificent. That's marriage. It's a reunion of male and female.
Why does it get so complicated? It gets so complicated. People are so used to be alone. And I've been coaching people for so many years. And now people divorce and they feel more alone than ever. And with all the separation and the choices there are in the world, people have too many choices. It's one swipe away, they have a new person, and they are never satisfied with
Yeah,
anybody. And
yeah,
there's
but
always another person. It's like, what do
the,
you have to say
the,
to us about that?
the
This
thing that scares me more,
not good enough, not good enough.
the thing that scares me more is when couples who are married feel alone in the world.
Yes.
Now, what are we doing wrong? If you feel alone when you're not married, it's because you are alone.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are married and you still feel alone, now we're doing something wrong. We're doing something wrong. Something's
So many marriages are people are sleeping together feeling alone,
right.
lonely.
Right.
That's not, I think it alone is might be healthy, but the feeling lonely while with another.
Yeah.
And I'm in the Silicon Valley where couples text message each other from across the house and they don't connect as much.
Well, this might be helpful. There's a difference between the things we want or need and the person we want or need. We've gotten very confused about that because Hollywood and the pornography industry has basically taken our attention away from who we're with and focused it on what we're getting. The definition of intimacy is the connection between two people beyond all things. So if something connects us, then we're not really connected. If two people love tennis and they decide to get married because they share that love, they're married to tennis. They're not married to each other. Now here's the really scary thing. Say I want to marry you for your money. I heard you're very rich. And I want to marry you for your money. What is wrong with that? Well, firstly, it's not honest. I don't want to marry you. I just want the money. So I say I want to marry you for your money. No, I'm married to the money. I'm never married to you. I love you for your money. Well, it's not true. I don't love you. I love the money, right? And here's the really, really painful part. If I marry you for your money, I'm essentially saying, if I could have the money without marrying you, that would be even better. But since I can't have the money without you, so I'll put up with you. But if I could get it without you, well, the same is true with love. If I could get your love and not have to put up with you. So I'm marrying you for love, which means I'm marrying the love. I'm not marrying you, which means if I could have your love without you, that would be even better. So now, if I could have the sex without having to put up with you, that would be even better. So money, love, and sex. I want them all, and I have to put up with you to get it. That is so insulting. If I could have the sex without you, that would be perfect. That's pornography. That's pornography. And that's what's happening in mainstream America, in bedrooms all over the country. We're looking for the sex and the love, and we're just barely putting up with each other. Now, our parents, on the other hand, our grandparents really wanted each other. And they were married to each other. Did they really love each other? There wasn't so much love. There was just you. I didn't want the love without you. I wanted you even without the love. I wanted you even without the money. And I wanted you even without the sex. If I have you and I love you and there's money and there's sex, that's perfect. But we got it backwards. We just want the things. We don't want the person that comes with the things. And by the same token, this all comes from God. If I serve God, if I love God because I want to go to heaven, what I'm saying is, if I could get to heaven without God, that would be even better. But since I can't, so okay, I'll put up with God. It's so nasty.
It's
So
sad.
intimacy means the ability to connect to you, to have you in my life. Sometimes I will love it, sometimes I will hate it, but I will have you. Sometimes we'll agree, sometimes we'll disagree, but that's having you. If you can't have your own opinion, then I don't have you. I have a clone. So I have to love the fact that you are not me. And yet I have you in my life.
Now there's the question, right? All the singles are going around and how do I know it's the right person? Where do I put my time and energy and focus? So I choose the right person to be with me. There's a lot of conversation between single people choosing, or even the married people, they still doubt, is this the person I should be with? This is not working. How I make it work? I cannot change it. Is it time to live? And what I find is most people don't have enough of themselves, and they need to work on themselves and be happy with themselves. And then only then they will be able to see what is right, because they will know in their heart deeply. But I would like to hear from you. What somebody's single, they're going through the whole motion of dating or going and having this person and that person, and then too much choice it's too easy. It's too easy to change. It's too easy to go to the next person. So for somebody that is searching, don't know what to do, and a lot of people are choosing to be alone, choosing to be single, and you already established that is not the path to the highest path. So I would like to know, how does the single people, or the people that are choosing in that space of, is this the best, how do we know what is the highest path for us, or the highest person, the best choice?
So the first thing is, we have to get a definition. What are you looking for? How to find it is the second step. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a life partner? Are you looking for something to perfect your own life? Are you looking for many things? A husband who says, I love everything about my wife. That sounds pretty good. He loves everything about her. She still feels alone in the world because he loves everything. He doesn't love her. She just comes along with those things that he loves. To be married means I don't want anything, either because I don't need it or because I've lost interest. I don't want more things. I have all the things I need. Now I want someone, not something. In fact,
Beautiful.
I want someone with whom I can share all things, but I'm not looking for more things.
That's a very important distinction. I want someone, not some things, because in my heart, in my life, I am fulfilled. I am grateful. I'm happy with myself. I achieved what I wanted to achieve. I'm in a space of sharing. So now I want somebody to share it with. I want someone.
Okay.
It's beautifully said.
Let's go a step further. I have everything I need. I have everything I want. Now I'm unhappy with myself. See, if I'm unhappy because I'm lacking money, If I'm unhappy because I'm lacking friendship, I'm unhappy because I'm lacking power and fame and whatever it is, then I'm unhappy about something.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have everything, why am I not happy?
Mm.
I'm unhappy with being myself. You see, God created the world. He didn't need anything. Why did he create the world? So if I ask, what did God create the world for? I'm confusing myself because God didn't create the world for what? He doesn't need any what. He doesn't need anything. God had everything and was not happy with himself, because to be alone is not acceptable for no known reason. So if I'm unhappy being alone, the solution is bring someone else into my life, not something else. I don't need more things. So if I'm unhappy with myself being only myself, then I get married, because then I'm not only myself. There's the solution. So I'm not looking for more things to make myself happy, and I'm not looking for more things from you to make you necessary in my life. You're necessary because you're a someone, not because you bring something. Love and sex are things. In today's world, people marry love and people marry sex. And then they're alone in the world, no matter how good the love is and no matter how good the sex is. You want to be married to someone, not to some things, not even to many things. So, like two drops of water, side by side, but they're two separate drops. That's unnatural, because water should flow. There shouldn't be two separate drops. So what's keeping them separate? This thing called surface tension. Something is interfering between them. What will it take for them to become one? Hardly any effort. Just touch it. Just break the surface tension. Water will flow. If we break our surface tension, we become one, because male and female flow to each other, because we were created as one. So just get stuff out of the way instead of looking to marry the stuff. It's not that complicated. We've just never been educated. We were told that love was everything. You're looking for love. In the last 100 years, everyone who got married out of love. And it destroyed marriages, because they were all married to the love, not to the person they're supposed to love.
And the sexuality is a celebration of the love, and it brings it back to sacredness. It's not a thing to do. It's not a relief. It's bringing it back, celebrating the love that we have, celebrating the harmony that we have. Then the sexuality is the celebration. It's one of the ways of the celebration.
And it's a very important one.
It is.
One of the ways, because, for two minds to blend is not that impressive. Minds are flexible. For two souls to blend, souls love each other. They don't have egos.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
But for two bodies to become one, that's miraculous. So the physical relationship, the physical intimacy of marriage is the fact that this oneness extends even to the physical body. That's very different from sex. Sex means taking something from another, using another person to gain something for myself. So sex separates people. You're never so alone as when you're experiencing pleasure, because it's your pleasure. And that's why after being intimate, the husband will ask his wife, how was it? Right? How was
If it's
it?
recreational sex, yes, he will ask.
And the wife is thinking, who are you calling an it? Where did an it come from? It was just us in the bedroom. Who invited an it? And you have to ask how it was. Where were you? Elsewhere. You were in your universe. I was in my universe. And you have to ask because you have no idea what was going on with me. So it separates us. It doesn't. Intimacy, on the other hand, physical intimacy means the pleasure of being able to be one with you. Not the pleasure of what we did, the pleasure of what we had. We had each other. And that's always good. You don't have to ask. It's not a performance. It's not an Olympic event. You don't have to ask. You don't have to ask who won and who got the gold, and who got the silver. We had each other, and that's perfect.
And how can people drop into this sacredness? In your view, I have a lot of ways that I bring people back to sacredness. I think vulnerability and being present are the most important things to create that really powerful intimacy. Into me, you see, I look into your eyes, I see the divinity in you, you see the divinity in me.
Yes.
It creates that path, that harmony in the relationship where, because if he watched pornography yesterday, now he comes to make love to me and he's thinking about what he saw, or worse yet, he has a tense day at work and he wants a relief. Now this is a temple. You're coming to my temple. Bring prayers, bring incense, bring flowers, and bring your presence. Bring your vulnerability, bring your heart, bring everything, but not just the tension from work. I don't want that in my temple. And a lot of men ask, well, why doesn't she want to make love to me? What do you bring into her temple? She consciously or unconsciously is saying no for you discharging your lack of awareness into her.
See, even the language is so confusing and so revealing of our mistake. Making love. You're making love? I don't even know what that means. How do you make love?
Celebrating love, being love.
Why can't it be called what it is? Why does it have to be called making love?
What it is.
That's such a strange euphemism. So first of all, it reveals that our opinion of sex is that it's distasteful, dishonorable, and embarrassing. So we will never say, we're having sex. That's kind of animalistic. We need to embellish, we need to pretty it up by saying, we're not just having sex, we're making love. Oh, well, love, that's beautiful. So first of all, if sex is distasteful, how does love make it any better? So now you're doing something distasteful with someone you love, and that makes it better? If it's distasteful, do it with your enemy, not with someone you love. Why would you do that to someone you love? Also, it shows how we worship love. Add a little love to any pot and it becomes delicious. It's not true. Love can't fix a bad meal. It's not the magic ingredient. So, your child is acting out, rebelling, and is misbehaving. Well, you need to love him more. We've tried that for 50 years. It's creating little monsters. They misbehave and we love them. They get the idea. The more they misbehave, the more we're going to love them. It's terrible. And it certainly doesn't help. We got to stop worshiping love. It is the God of America.
Mm.
And it's a terrible idol. We kill for love. We die for love. We cheat for love. Love is not the answer to everything. Before there is love, there is something you ought to love. What is that? Nothing starts with love. You see something about a person that impresses you and you love it. Well, what impresses you? What is it that causes you to respond lovingly? If it's your child, I understand. Why do you love your child? It's my child. There's a reality there, and I love it. But in America, love is the entire reality. That's all there is. That's like sizzle without a steak. That's like whipped cream without the cake. So love is not the solution to everything. It has become the problem. So when a couple come and say, you know, we've fallen out of love and we're thinking maybe we should get divorced. And I say, no, you've fallen out of love. Now maybe you should try getting married to each other. Now that you're no longer married to the love.
That's so profound.
So if God is love, then love is God. And it's just a weak idol that always will disappoint. So look at this. What is stronger, better, higher, more desirable than love? Be my love. You are the love of my life. What's better than that? What's better than that is, don't be my love, just be mine. I don't want something from you. I just need you. So what happens? A guy comes home. A woman comes home every day, right? The end of the day, the end of the workday, you come home. What is that supposed to feel like? What is a home supposed to do for you? Coming home means you are now in your element. You are in your place. You are where you belong. That is much more powerful than love. I can love something and it's not mine and I don't belong there. So it's fun to visit. It's not my home. Home is where I belong. It's my place. What do I do in this home? Exactly what I'm supposed to do. My job is optional. I can be a doctor, I can be a lawyer, I can be a baker or a candlestick maker. But my home, being part of my family, that's what I ought to be doing. That's my thing. And who am I with? I'm with the person that I am meant to be with. My husband, my wife. So I am where I'm meant to be, doing what I'm supposed to do with the person that is the other part of myself. Now you think of it this way. When I'm home, there's no place else I'd rather be. What I do at home with my family, there's nothing else I'd rather do. And when I'm with my spouse, there's no one else I'd rather be with. If you have that experience when you walk into your home, love is nothing compared to that. It's literally like being in heaven. Being where you belong, doing what you're supposed to be doing with the person you're meant to be with. That is heaven. So when people ask me, do I believe in heaven and hell? I say, come on. You've never been there? You've never been in heaven? That's very sad. And you know what hell is? when you come home and you don't feel like you belong there, and you're with your spouse and it doesn't feel good, and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and it all backfires on you. That's hell. Because if you can't be where you're supposed to be, what's left? If I can't be happy with the person I am supposed to be with, what's left? Some fantasy? Some Hollywood imaginary relationship? That's really sad. So here's some practical. If you're going to be intimate rather than just have sex, try this. Turn the lights off. Always, always. You cannot be intimate with a light on, because intimacy is invisible. If the lights are on, you're going to see. And whatever you see is going to distract you from the intimacy. Even if all you're seeing is each other, but you're seeing something about each other, it's a distraction. You should be focused on the person, not the appearance, not the things the eye can see, only the things that a heart can feel. Where does this new behavior, this new idea of leaving the lights on, where did that come from?
The things I can feel, the things the heart can feel. I love that. I love that, because people are forgetting that, the heart, they are forgetting the connection. They're forgetting to be vulnerable and go in the heart, and you nail it. It's the things the heart can feel. And if the heart feels home with you, I don't need anything else. I don't need anyone else. I don't need to be thinking or doubting or nothing else. Everything is home. I'm home. I'm safe. I'm everything. Every part of my being is celebrating when that happens. Beautiful, beautifully said.
So where does intimacy with lights on, where does that come from? You know, back in the 50s, not that long ago, on television, when they wanted to imply or suggest that the couple are going to be intimate now, what happened? They turned off the light. The screen went black. And then you knew they were being intimate. So the norm in all homes, in all civilized world, in all the whole civilized world, intimacy meant turn off the lights. That was just natural, instinctive wisdom. How did that change? Very clearly, pornography. Pornography introduced the idea of having intimacy with the lights on. And then it stopped being intimate. It became just plain sex.
Now, that is being a sad disease of this time. There's addiction to pornography is everywhere. They did studies, most men do it. So there's not enough men to study that don't do it, which I find it really sad. It fires the same brain chemicals as cocaine and sugar in the brain, and people get chemically addicted like a drug. And so many people are doing it, ruining marriages, ruining connections. Yep. They lose their ability to focus, to love themselves, to love life. It's a disease well spread. It's sad. So for people that are there, we are talking for the next level. And the words that you are saying for a lot of people seem like a dream, seem like an unachievable goal or something. Well, how do I find it? And they have to do so much inner work to get there. So for that guy that is confused right now and that is lost from, because we have God in our hearts, and that makes it so much difference, because the love of God heals and cleanses everything. But then when the people that are not there, they are confused, they are lost, how they start to bring back, to connect, to come back, to come to this? What's 3 steps?
You mentioned God. The truth is, the way we relate to each other is going to be the way we relate to God.
Oh.
If I marry you for love, then I worship God for love. They go together. If I can get past all things with God, maybe I can get past all things with a spouse. One affects the other because relationship is relationship. The way one goes, the other one goes. Now, most people who are addicted to pornography are suffering from substance abuse, because pornography is a substance. It's not a person. It's not a who. It's the absence of who. It's just things.
Mm-hmm.
And when you drag people down to that level, like a woman is just a collection of things, and there are some things I like about her, and there are some things I don't need. So if I could have the sex without the person, that would be ideal, right? Also, if I could have a woman without a womb, without a uterus, that would be so much better. The uterus is just a complication. It's a curse. If you hate the uterus, you hate women. If you hate women, you're pornographic. It's just a very, very simple, actually, a very simple misconception. It shouldn't be that hard to switch from substance to person. In fact, we're all hungering for a relationship with a person. We just can't find our way to it because we're so distracted by things. So when I suggest to people, turn the lights off, and they give it just a few moments of thought, that changes everything. Wow, the lights off. Don't see anything. Don't hear anything, and don't say anything. In Jewish tradition, intimacy occurs only in the dark with no distracting sounds. There's no music, there's no television, and you don't speak. So you're not seeing, you're not hearing, and you're not speaking. Where does all your attention go? Where is your focus now? On the invisible, on the personhood of the person you're with. Just that alone. Turn off the lights. Stop the pornography. You might even get to like each other.
Wow. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. This is so enlightening. And for the connection with God that I feel like so many people have lost, that connection, I do believe that when we surrender to something beyond ourselves, it makes us more loving to everything. And I see this notion that people have, I am God, you are God, we're all God, but they're forgetting God. And then they just, it's all me, I, everything. What do you suggest for us to reconnect with our God selves and to God?
We have a very, very bad image of God. Very bad. God is invulnerable. God has no needs because he's perfect. And yet you're supposed to love him. That's absurd. If he's invulnerable, if he needs nothing, if he's already perfect, what do you love? What do you love? He's unavailable. He's unreachable. You can't love him. The truth is that God's infinite perfection does not stop him from being vulnerable. His perfection means he doesn't need anything. Doesn't mean he doesn't need anyone. Is that not the first thing you notice? The first words in the Bible? In the beginning, God created. What does that tell you? He's already God, which means he's already perfect, which means he needs nothing, and then he creates the world. Connect the dots. He's not asking for something. He's asking for you. He needs a someone. He doesn't need something. So to reduce God to powerful is an insult. To reduce him to love is an insult. To reduce him to a judge is an insult. He does all that. But those are just things. What he really wants, what he really needs is someone. So he's asking us to be his. Of course, to be his, you got to enter his world, not create a world of your own. So it's like, I need my children. I don't need things from them. So why do I want them to come to my birthday party? Well, because I need them. And if they don't come to my birthday party, I don't have them. And when I don't have them, I just need them even more. So why do I need them to come to my birthday party? Because birthdays are so important? No, because they're so important. So I want them in my life, not outside my life. So God needs us to behave a certain way. God says, I am holy, be holy with me. I observe the seventh day, I rest with me. I am loyal, be loyal. I'm compassionate, be compassionate. In other words, I'm not asking you to behave perfectly. I'm asking you to behave like me so that I have you. Now, here's the beautiful thing. If I don't need anything from you, like God, I don't need anything from you. I just need you. And for whatever reason, I don't have you. You're not available. So I need just you. And I don't have you. What am I missing? If I don't have you, what am I missing? That's a trick question. What I'm missing is not a what. What am I missing? Nothing. You're missing. You're missing in my life. I don't have you. Does that make me imperfect? No. It makes me vulnerable, which is even greater than perfect.
Vulnerability is the greatest gift.
So to say God doesn't really need you to be with him, God doesn't need you to do the things he does, well, then that means he doesn't really need you at all. So every commandment God gives us is an entry into his world. And the more we enter his world, the more he has us. The less we enter into his world, the more he needs us. But we're not there. That is not a contradiction to his being perfect. It's only because he's perfect that he can really need us and not something from us. And that's what marriage means. Don't get married if you need something. You need love, go home to your mother. You want sex, pay for it. Don't use people, right? So marriage means I'm perfect enough to move beyond myself.
I love that.
Things.
I am perfectly enough to move beyond myself in all things. Love that. It's
So
beautiful. So beautiful.
it turns out that if I marry someone because I need something from her, that's abuse. That is abuse. I'm using her, and using a person is abuse. You use things. You can even use animals. You cannot use a person. That's abuse. And it starts off very subtle, but it wouldn't be surprising if it became more callous and more gross with time, because it started off on a bad note. You're slightly abusing, you'll just become more abusive with time. So marriage means I am not going to abuse you by using you for my needs. I'm here to make your life easier. I'm here to make your existence more meaningful, because together we become something special. Without each other, we're nothing special.
This is so beautiful, so enlightening. We need you so much, and the light and your perspective is opening the eyes of so many people and changing the world. I'm so grateful for everything that you are, everything that you do, your dedication to speak and share the light that you are with us. I'm very grateful for your beautiful.
Well,
Thank you
I
for
wouldn't be sharing it if you didn't invite me to your site.
yeah.
You know, the beautiful thing is this is not mysterious, and it's not otherworldly, and it is not idealistic. It's what we really are. It's going back to the real self. You don't need any gimmicks. You don't need any talent. Let yourself be where you need to be. It's who we are. We're not built to be alone, and that's why we can't stand being alone. And the obvious solution is become one, male and female, reunited into one complete being. If you're looking for that, you'll find it.
And we also can find your book on Amazon. Where we find it? It's Joy of Intimacy.
You can get it online, thejoyofintimacy.org.
All right. I will definitely
Right
get
there.
a copy. And I'll continue stalking you and watching all your videos and reading everything you write. I think what you're doing is beautiful. I'm grateful. We shed light in the world in different ways. I help people a lot with their sexuality, with their connection. But I will definitely add, turn off the light. It seems to resolve everything in such an easy way. Just be present, just be vulnerable is something that I say a lot. But I love the turn off the light and just be with me.
Stop the pornography.
Yes. And may I say that I feel the energy, the vibration, your divinity, the God light through you. And I'm deeply, there's a few moments that I felt tears of joy. And right now I feel, it's just this joy in my heart that I feel very, very blessed to be in your presence and to be in your light today. Thank you so much for who you are, for the blessings you bring to the world, for your light, for all the beautiful work that you've done, the studies, and I can only imagine what you went through to bring this light to us. Thank you. Thank you for doing your inner work so you can be this beautiful light in the world. I'm very grateful.
Thank you. I'll tell my mother.
Yeah, she's a wonderful.
She'll really appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for the opportunity. We really need to get this thing under control, because if marriages fail, families fail, and if families fail, children fail, this is not a good direction. We must get back to who we really are. and what we're here for. And the sooner we do that, the greater our lives and our children and our grandchildren. I mean, we can't ruin what was going on all these years before pornography.
Yes.
We can't break that chain. We've got to continue it. And we have to pass on all the good things that we were given, because it was never meant for us to hoard it and to own it and to keep it under our mattress or something. So whatever we have, it's meant to be shared.
Shared. And I will share this message of our
Thank you. That's what I was suggesting.
as much as I can. And if you are seeing this, I invite you to share with the world. And thank you so much. My website is divinekika.com, and there's a free gift there, 10 Tantric Sex Secrets for Greater Sex, Love, and Intimacy. And I will add to my book, Turn Off the Light. I will add, I promise, I will add. That will be a new review. That will be an addition of Turning Off the Light.
It will make, just that little thing will make a huge difference.
Yes, it might be all we need, as you said.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day. And please share this. Please tell your friends that are married, that are in a relationship, your single friends. Tell everyone in your life about this interview today. What a beautiful gift for your heart, for many hearts. Share this message and go to divinekika.com. Get your free gift, put your email, and go to thejoyofintimacy.org.
Yes.
And get your copy. I am getting my copy, and this will be my bed, this will be beside my bed, the book that I will read every day. I can see how I will have to read it a few times and really take in, because the things that you say is something that you say it in such a deep way that we kind of have to take it in and hear it again sometimes, just to really let it soak, let it be, and let it become, recognize and be part of me. So a lot of what you say become part of me. And thank you for all the bits and pieces that I hear from you that are becoming part of me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Be well.
Bye-bye.